Hiya! So here we go. It's Katsu project number 1. Today we're gonna start working on our ExValkyrie fan design by the wonderful Hootie Desu on Twitter. They were very nice to let me recreate their ExValkyrie designs, and hopefully we will be doing an ExValk skit, performance, and acting out like anime and stuff. So today I will be opening up my big package from AliExpress. I'm so excited to get into this. This one already opened up, so I'll go through these in a second. But yeah, tea first. Okay. Probably get a bit of knife. So I'm going to start with the already open ones because I'm really excited to see these. That's not supposed to be there. Oh, this is open, that's why. Huh. So this one's already open. But it seems like putting this in really isn't that much of a big deal. I can just hot glue that back in. I'm not too concerned because it is one of the white ones. I don't remember if there's any white ones on here, but I know we're definitely looking to use the red ones. That's really cool. Let's get a properly working one now. Yeah, there you go. Oh my gosh, it's already got the pin brooch and everything, so I just have to like stick it on. That is great. That is beautiful. I can't wait to just stick these on. I'm so excited. This is my first time like having the opportunity to like order stuff from AliExpress to put on the cosplays. I honestly never thought about it before. But then, like, I was like, where do people get all these little, like, doodads? Like, they can't be spending, like, $40 at Walmart. No. AliExpress. Next up, we got this little box. I don't know what it is. I don't know what any of these are. I don't remember what I ordered. They're not shoes, I'll tell you that. I know I ordered shoes. Oh! They're I believe these are called filigrees. So yeah, these are gonna be details for the belt. That's pretty neat. These are gonna be more for the belt. They'll be going like on the sides. It's usually like a great way to open this. So these are just some little gold buttons. They're a little smaller than like what I'm normally working with, but I can't complain because they're like perfect for little detail buttons. And I specifically got them with the little design on them because, you know, just the plain like button look, I don't know, I feel like it's too plain. Like I like the kind of textured, you know, it almost gives like a store-bought sort of feel, you know. Are there any stores on AliExpress that like don't use these sort of like textured buttons? Oh, our gears. You cannot have a Valkyrie cosplay without some gears. Ta-da! Now it looks like these are like wooden and they are laser cut, which means that they are going to hold spray paint beautifully. Which is great. They will all be nice and uniform. And they're nice and light. It's very nice. Ta-da! Ah! Our little roses. These, I believe, I'm going to be putting on the belt. So they're just like these rose details. I'm probably going to fill these with like UV resin to give it, like to fill it in a little bit. Because I'm not entirely sure if I like just the open one. I don't know yet. And now I'm pretty sure this is the Nazuno wig. I saved it for last because it's the big package. I just realized I forgot that ExValkyrie has things on both sides, so let's hope this isn't lopsided. And it probably is. Oopsies. Yeah, that's lopsided. Oops. I forget that he has the like mirrored hair, that it's, what's the word? It's symmetrical on both sides. I forgot that he has that. So I was like, oh, Nazuno wig, that's perfect. I don't need to do anything else. Oh well. I don't know how to pose for this. I don't know. Let's get to cutting our fabric. Hi. So, what I'm not showing here is the absolute mass of red velvet I have behind the camera. Oh my god, it weighs like 20 pounds in itself. It's like a huge thing. Anyways, I have a bunch of this fabric. This red actually is for a personal project, so I'm going to be taking this out. But isn't it so pretty? I love bridal satin on idol fabrics or like idol cosplays. I feel like, you know, having that sheen is just really cool. So I'm actually going to be remaking my long shoe cosplay. And this is for that. So that's going to be set to the side. How did I have to save these? So here's the gold bridal satin, if I can figure out how to present it nicely to you. Anyways, it looks beautiful. It's not like super holographic or anything, which I kind of like, but I do just like the sheen. You know, it's nothing too shiny, nothing too dull. That's going to be a lot of the bodice. If I'm looking at my reference here, it's going to be a lot of the bodice that is going on. For Christmas, my aunt was also very awesome and got me a bias tape maker. So I'm going to be making a lot of bias tape. So that's what a majority of this is for, is bias tape. Right here, we have some gray broadcloth, that's the word. This is going to be for our shirts, and then there's like a central part of the bodice. If I show you my picture, it's going to be this like central bit here, and that's where that's going to go. Breakthrough by Trickstar. I love these guys. Breakthrough by Trickstar, it's a banger. I like the beat map. A lot of people don't like it, and it's hard. It is hard, but I like the hard beat map. So yeah, that's for that. So we got a good amount of that for, yes, the undershirts, and then this is also going to be for the bodice parts. There's like a central bit there. Oh, I'm so excited to work with this because I've never worked with any of this sort of stuff before. I have fancy fake fur. This stuff. I wish I could show you guys how cool it feels. It feels so soft. And I only have 1 yard of this because there's only a little bit of it. There's like a kind of like like a shoulder sort of perch that the capes kind of like, it sits on top of the capes. So not that much because it also was a little more on the pricey side. But God, I'm so excited to mess with this stuff. To the side. I have some, I believe this is chiffon. This is going to be for Nazuna's underbustle. I do like how sheer that is. It's dark, but not too dark. So this is going to just entirely get ruffled, because it's for nothing else but ruffling. Haha, butt ruffling for a bustle. Ah, ah. Oh, and the cream of the crop. Black satin jacquard. This is actually going to be the lining to our capes. I do like it a lot. This is also, I also like ordered an extra 1.5 yards, 2 yards for myself for my long shoe. So I'm very excited to mess with it. Gorgeous. I have been trying for so many cosplays to put some of this sort of fabric in, jacquard or whatever the other one is. I have been trying so hard to put it into a cosplay, and now I finally have the opportunity to. I'm so excited to work with it because it's so gorgeous. It like adds texture and not too much texture, not too much like difference. It adds just the perfect amount of texture, just the perfect amount of like pizzazz on something. You know, you don't really want your whole cosplay to be made out of it, in my opinion. I like to see the variety, which is very hypocritical because every single cosplay up until Katsucon of this year has been made entirely out of Walmart cotton. So don't listen to anything I say. Not pictured here is the gigantic mass of red velvet because I really do not want to bring that over here. You know, I'm going to do it. So yeah, this is my red velvet. It is stretch, and I don't know entirely how I feel about it. I don't like it. That's my feelings. This stretches. It's weird. But yeah, this is what we're going to be making the capes. I have a lot of fabric to cut through, and I will be making 3 cosplays, so this should be plenty. I'm not going to be upset if I have extras because this is really nice, versatile fabric. Surely I will have an excuse to put a red velvet cape on something. Probably. If you notice that, like, before I had this little bit up here, yes, I have cut out a piece. Yesterday I wasn't feeling too well and just trimmed out Nazuna's cape because I wanted to start embroidering it. My #1 top suggestion for cosplay is you're not always going to feel the same every single day. So do what you can, especially if you're on a time crunch. Separate your tasks into good days, bad days, and then like really easy stuff for like really, really bad days. So like good days, sewing, you know, patterning, doing all the hard parts. For bad day, I had my, you know, I was going to embroider beads because I wasn't feeling too good and I just wanted to sit in my bed. That's what I did. I sat in my bed and I started embroidering some of the beads on. I can't say embroider, I started stitching them on. But like some other basic stuff that I have set aside is making the foam structure for Shu's hat. That's going to be my other one. And I am going to want to put this over it, I believe. I don't remember if it's red or black. But either way, I'm going to cover it with the fabric. I'm going to make a foam base and I'm going to cover it with the fabric. And I love making hats. I don't talk about it often because I only get to make like 2 or 3 hats a year. But I enjoy making cosplay hats. So yeah, I'm talking a bunch. I'm stalling because I don't want to cut all of this. Cutting is always the most nerve-wracking thing when it comes to cosplays. Because I'm always so afraid that I'm going to mess up and then I'm just not going to have the fabric and I'm going to waste the fabric I have. You know, just the generic, like, that sort of thing. But I have the ability, I probably should print out my picture so I have references, because that's like the one thing that I hate about like recording, is that I use my phone and I also have the pictures on the phone, so I'm like, oh, I better go get my reference, and then I have to like stop recording, I have to go look at it, and then I have to start recording again, and it's like, So I think I'm actually gonna go do that. Today's the worst day to do that because it's pouring out, but I'll manage. So yeah, I'm gonna go print those out, and then we'll start cutting. Alrighty, so I will be taking the easy way out of cutting, and I'm gonna start with my chiffon, because I literally am just going to be cutting the strips with it. And I think I'm just gonna go yard by yard because I don't know exactly how much. Or maybe I'll do, because I think I got 4 yards of this to ruffle and put. Can you hush? This storm outside is crazy. If I can find the edge. There we go, we found an edge. Basically, I have just folded this into a bunch of rectangles, so that way it's folded over on top of itself, so that way I don't have to go Oh god, we're gonna have to run all of this through Serger. Next up, I'm just gonna be making up some shapes for this. Oh god, it's in the back of my throat.
So what I'm doing here is pretty straightforward. I'm just making some shapes that kind of match the pieces that I'm pulling from the reference. I'm just drawing them out with chalk and cutting them out. Two of them are the same thing for Shu and Mika. Nazuna has a bit of a wraparound one, so I cut his out differently. This stuff actually created so much fur flying around that I actually had to pull out the vacuum cleaner to try to wrangle it, and it still was in my nose and in my mouth for weeks.
Cheers! So I normally don't really work with these a lot, but I have given up and I'm tired of patterning my own. So I got a pattern for like a button-up shirt, and you know, it might not be like entirely perfect up top, but I just wanted a shirt pattern because I'm dying and I didn't want to mess too much with, like, I'm tired. So now the goal is to figure out how to cut this, because I've never really used like a physical pattern. I have printed out patterns. I have printed out a pattern. One pattern. And that was a pain in my butt. Oh, these all have, these all have like the sizes like all over them. Okay, that's gonna help me a lot. Because I know, like, normally they're like, oh, this dotted dashed line is size 1, and this dashed line is size 2, and this solid line is number 4. Oh, that's great. Now I don't have to think at all, which is great, because I hate thinking. So now I'm going to try to cut this out and pretend that my table doesn't exist.
This category is duo skits, and these are in the GCOSPLAY category. So they're competing for a chance to win a trip to the Gyeonggi International Cosplay Festival in South Korea. Though I did film this on 2 cameras, and some of these clips
so I was cutting my pattern and I had on a video in the background, and jump scare, that's me. This is the second time I've been in a Sarah's Basement video now, and it always surprises me. I'm like, if I can, I'm gonna try to throw in the clip where I'm like, oh god, that's us. We did our thing. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Before I got jump scared, I was working on cutting out the pattern, which was pretty difficult because the pattern paper is super thin, and also the pattern paper that is used is huge. So trying to fit it on my desk with a bunch of other things and just trying to cut it out with this huge piece of really delicate paper was super stressful. After this, I used my pattern to cut out enough fabric to make 3 shirts, since there's 3 of us and we all have the same undershirt. Before I got started, I had drape patterned the big pieces of the vest sort of over shirt. Using this, I started cutting out my velvet. Since the 3 of them all had different size bustles, I used one main pattern piece and cut it and spread it out, similar as you might do with a sleeve to make a puff sleeve or something of that sort. Before I did that though, I separated the top half from the bottom half, so the top halves were all constructed the same way. And then spread it all out with the bustles. Shu had not much bustle, Mika had a medium amount, and Nazuna obviously had the most.
Got a package today. Haven't been doing much because it's really cold, but okay. What's up? Oh my gosh, it's chilly out here. So I really have not been out in the shed in like a week because it's been so cold and snowy and gross, so I haven't really done much out here, but I have been spending the week hand beating inside in the warmth under a blanket. But now I have to face reality and I have to face my space heater directly towards me so I don't freeze to death. So we're gonna do capes if we have time. We're also gonna try to start assembling some of the undershirts. We're going piece by piece. I'm opening it up like week by week. So first week is like, I don't remember. I got a gift for Christmas. Bias tape making. So the thing with cutting bias tape is you're supposed to do it like diagonally. So ideally what I should do is find like a square. And I know that there's like ways to do it. I have made so much bias tape before for my witch Sora, and I hated it, which is why I bought this which is why I asked for that machine for Christmas. I was like, I never want to fold bias tape ever again.
If you don't know how to make bias tape, this is not a tutorial, but basically I cut out a giant square, sewed it into a tube, and then cut the tube at an angle to make a bunch of strips. After some finagling, I figured out how the machine worked. Yes, it took a little bit of time, but once I got it up and running, the machine did all of the folding for me in like half the time, which was wonderful.
So the bias tape from this is very nice. I'm probably gonna trim that off, but it's so nice and uniform. It's beautiful. Look at that. That's nice. This is only like a third of it. I don't even know if I need to do anything with the other like 2/3 of it that's sitting over there. So yeah, I don't know. So for probably the last, I want to say 3 hours, I have been trying to figure out how I want to do the little design, because if you look at the reference, right? Just sit there for a moment. If you look at the reference, around here, it's got like that sort of gear, like up, down, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna, my machine can make stitches, I'm just gonna like sort of set and stitch it. And then I learned that my set is not like any of this. So I was trying all sorts of different stitches. I went from horizontal to vertical, and that started helping. But what I found helped the best is interfacing. Who would have guessed? And I've cut it down for being like up, down, and like half and half to just one big one. And then it's going to go along the edge, and then it'll pop up over here. So that way it's got a nice even, you know. But yeah, I think that's all I'm going to do today, because I am tired and I don't feel amazing. So I'm going to go lay down and probably do some hand stitching and hang out, because my face hurts. Everything hurts because it's so cold. It's sucking the moisture out of everything. What's up? It's day 2 of being out in the shed while it's freaking cold. Anyways, I'm pretty sure I went over it yesterday. I couldn't get the stitches to go, and then using tearaway stabilizer, finally got it to work. This was my final stitch that I'm going to be going with, so that's going to go along there, along the bias tape. And then what I'm hoping to do is have the bias tape like come right up to it, because I haven't sewed the bias tape down yet. I was about to, and then I went, wait, maybe I shouldn't. So today is just going to be sitting here staring at my machine sewing for me. And I'm just gonna sit here and watch videos and sew and be cold. Alright, this is a really good angle. But before I get like hugely into sewing, I've got my roll of like tearaway stabilizer, and I literally just like cut parts off of it. Since I'm gonna be using a whole lot of it today. I've done this before and I love it. Love it! It's like day 3 of working on capes, and I have put bias tape on the second cape. The third cape is pretty straightforward. There's not a lot going on there. It's like a messed up circle skirt. So I'm hoping that one's gonna be a little easy to push through. But yeah, my back really hurts today, so this is all I'm doing today. But it looks really nice. I really like how this bias tape looks and feels. I know I am going to be in the green room of Katsucon Masquerade, which, by the way, we got accepted into. I've never done the Katsucon Masquerade, so I'm very excited to do it this year. I have no idea how it's gonna go. Last year, there was a huge crazy thing where I applied for the fashion show and was like, hey, is this craftsmanship? And I didn't get a reply until Friday of the convention at like 1 o'clock. So I was like, oh, how do I do craftsmanship? And I learned that there's no online application for Katsucon's craftsmanship. You just show up and hope you got in line earlier enough. This isn't a part of the video I honestly expected to make. But I'm quitting my job. Today is Friday, January 26th, and on Monday I will be handing in my 2 weeks notice. And I will hopefully become a full-time seamstress from there. Waiting for the heat to turn off because it's loud. What's up? I am ironing 2 out of 3 of my capes tonight. The third one is the beaded one, so I haven't touched that yet because I'm not done beading it, which hopefully I will finish beading tomorrow. Anyways, a little bit of an update. It took me a bit to figure out the stitch, but here's what I went with. So I went with like these blocks, and then I put the bias tape over it. And I don't hate how it looks. It was going to be a messy thing to bring to life either way, but I think I've made it work decently. This looks like King DDD. So it's gold on the top and black on the bottom. That's really cool. Now it's gonna be all uneven because I'm super great at ironing, obviously. So, alrighty. Yesterday, I finished beading the cape, finally. Oh, look at that. It's so pretty to see. So yeah, this is going to be the Nazuna cape. I've never really beaded anything before, so it definitely was a learning experience, but I think it turned out really cool. So what I'm going to be doing this morning is I'm going to be doing the stitch around the edge like I did with my other ones. I'm going to put the bias tape on. I'm going to line it. Those are my words. I have the other ones back here. It's looking very nice and crisp. I very much like how the edge came out. I'm thinking I might pull the material up a little bit and try to get rid of like the black that pokes out underneath, but I don't know if I have the effort for that today. Right now, the goal is to finish up the capes and then start working on the shirts. Finally get some stuff moving. So yeah. Welcome to the serging corner. Today, we are serging a whole lot of chiffon. This is going to be on Nazuna's underbustle, and this is what I'm going to be working on next. What's up? I got shirts. So I have like the shirt bodices there, and then this is all the stuff that goes on. So sleeves, cuffs, collars are somewhere. And I was gonna top stitch these to like put the hems in place. I forget, I don't know. And I realized that this is like the only gray thread that I have, and I don't like it. So I guess I have to go shopping now. Oh! Every single project, there's always something that I forget, and then I have to like order it separately. So this project, it was my pants fabric, which wasn't the worst. Oh, it's got a smell. Whoever packaged this must have been drinking NOS or something. But yeah. Another day, another dollar. Got some threads, very exciting. I think I may go with this one, I'm not entirely sure yet. But either way, both of them, I just like how they match a lot better. I have to like test them and put it like, you know, to see which one I prefer. But tonight we are going to top stitch this, do a shit ton of buttonholes, hem, I guess, the shirts, and then try to start putting together pants. What's up? It's a few hours later. I didn't finish putting all of the buttons on yet. I think I only have one shirt buttoned, but I have all the cuffs buttoned over here. Wha-bam! So tomorrow we will be finishing up putting the buttons on, and then assembling the shirts, and then finally getting to pants, but that's okay. Oh yeah, I also went for like a very small supply run today.
One of the downsides of having a craft shed is that you have to insulate it so that way heat stays in or the cold stays in during the summer. And unfortunately, these panels were not always staying in position.
Ta-da! I have shirts. Now these are just like gonna be underneath everything, but they got like the cuffs and they button and the buttonholes exist, and yeah. There's the other two here. Now, the process for setting up flies is something that I always forget. So I like drew up a little guide for myself in my notebook. Now I just have to find it. So first, we're going to start with these. I am now equipped with another list, this time with what I think should be better visuals. So let's try to do this. You see, hold on, relax. The hardest part about when you're making pants is I can never remember which part is the front and which part is the back. So I always have to end up pulling out the pattern. Everything is canceled. I just spilled my popcorn. Look.
After emotionally recovering from dropping my popcorn, I serged all the edges of my pants before I put them together.
Well, I'm not really too sure how I managed to pull this one off. But, you know, this is the top of the pants, right? This is the curve for, like, the inside of the leg. Here's where I put the zipper, for some reason. In that curve. So now, I need to figure out how to undo that. And how to attach, I think this is the pants. I don't know. I've messed that one up so bad. It's time for me to show off my progress for tonight. So we've got these like half assembled. The insides are not sewed yet because I want to add the details on the bottom. We got a nice fly going on here. Wha-bam. No waistband just yet. That'll come later. And then a nice pocket. Yay. I've got my second pair of pants like half assembled, same as this one, and then the shorts are here because we're gonna do that tomorrow. But yeah, pretty good progress for tonight. Alright, quick tip of tonight. So what I'm trying to do with these shorts that I'm making for our Nazuna is they're supposed to be kind of like a nice cuff, or like it's supposed to like be stiff, you know, in a way. Like the shorts, they look like they stick out. Horsehair braid. I've done this before actually on my time travel yo pants. I don't think I have any pictures of that cosplay. But I've done it before. It gives it like a nice stiffness. And you know, just want to use that like any other time you would use that. Fold it over. I sewed it on the top on the raw hem so that way it gets folded in, and then it's on the edge, and then it gives it that kind of like strength and stability to like puff out almost. And then it's gonna get covered up by gold bias tape in a minute, so it shouldn't really stick out too much. So yeah, this morning I hand sewed the inside hem of these so there's no hem on the outside, so that's nice. I got pretty far with doing the waistband on this. I just have to iron it in. So the shorts and the pants are coming along really well. I like how they're coming out. I didn't record any of it as per usual, but I did this really cool decorative stitch around the edge just to give it a little pop. You know, this machine has a lot of like really nice stitches, and I like never use them for whatever reason. You know, I only spent like $2,000 on this machine, so I don't know why I would ever use any of its features. And I am gonna have to do so much of that frickin' stitch. Oh, I thought I was done. I'm not. That's gonna take me probably like 2 or 3 days. At least it's like varying degrees on each character, because like Shu just has a straight, Mika has a bit of a ruffled, and then Nazuna has this ginormous bustle. So if anything, I'm probably gonna go hardest to easiest, because that's how I like to roll.
Here I am ironing my waistbands to be nice and crisp and pressing my seams. In the next clip you'll see me fiddling with my machine. One of my favorite things to do for group cosplays is to put the character's name on their pants. This really helps me tell them apart, because usually all of the pants or whatever's on the bottom end up being identical except for like sizing.
And there we go. Mika with a little heart.
I top stitched my fur together to basically make a sort of tube or whatever shape I needed. I did leave a bit of it open so that way I could turn it inside out and then subsequently stuff it.
So I literally got like 3 seconds into it, and I'm already realizing that I think I definitely want some bigger ones to kind of vary it. So I'm just gonna pull a few out for now because these are small.
And this is where I descend into bedazzling madness. I actually love bedazzling and using rhinestones for that extra sparkle. I feel like it adds such a great touch, especially to idol cosplays, so I love just being able to stick these on.
So this is Nazuna's little fur bit, and oh yeah, looks kind of like a night sky almost. Well, that's what I wanted to see today.
I spray painted all of our little accessories so that way they all have the same shade of gold, because they all have little sort of different colors that vary ever so slightly, so just getting them all uniform was really nice. Since the reference showed a few chains that looked like they were coming from the fur or around that area, here I am sewing on some hardware or sewing on some clips to attach stuff to.
Getting late, that fell off. I did my collars, I ruffled all my stuff. I think the ruffles are down there somewhere. But I have loaded up the mannequin with everything with where I think it goes, except for that because it fell. So we got the gold around the waist, we got the front pieces, this is like the gray vest part, just so I can start to visually approach it.
So I actually recorded a lot of how I decorated the shoes, and it kind of turned into like its own little ASMR sort of video. Since I did record a lot of it, I honestly might just turn it into its own sort of video because of the way that I recorded it. But basically, as you can see here, I laid down some masking tape, cut it with an X-Acto knife to block it off, and then spray painted it to have it nice and crisp.
I showed you my artistry, please respond. So yeah, this is a shoe hat. It's got a foam base on it and then just covered in fabrics. It's all nice and lined. I poked some of these bad boys through it so that way I can try to attach it to my hair, to my wig. It's a little too small for my head, but that's okay. It is manageable. Okay, so I just did a lot of really cool things, and I'm going to show you some in a second, but, oops. Look at the shoes! I've also started putting together some of the decorations for this. Again, just hot glued. I have to make the lace that's going to go around this, but I need gold thread. A lot of these I'm realizing how much gold thread I need. I may just go play Minecraft. But there's a few other things that I can do before I get to go play Minecraft, accessory-wise. So we're going out to my spray paint station, and this is the crown that I've put together. We've got the bamboo skewers, wire, one of those gears, and then I really didn't want to shape out all these little individual triangles, so I've just put like these teardrop-shaped gems. And you might be thinking, whoa, but Valkyrie doesn't have green. You'll never believe the wonders this stuff does. Bam! And look, it's gold. Yay! So tomorrow is the day that we are driving down to Maryland. Today we are going to be assembling our jacket. And I had to order these last second because, hold on, I gotta let my kid in. Okay, so I realized last second that I really didn't want to make stockings. So I bought some real quick. I bought like a big pouch. I'm gonna steal the rest of them. Sorry, bunny. You. Beautiful. Got some good stretch on that. I'm literally just gonna sew like a hook on the outside, or just like a loop thingy on the outside of these two. These are gonna go into my room.
So as you might see, there's a little bit of a cut to Katsucon because I ended up not being able to record assembling the tops. I had to crunch really hard to get them assembled. I was a little scared of how they look up on stage, but every time I watch our performance, I'm kind of in awe of how I managed to do that. I won't show the whole video here because that's what the group account is all for. But we had such an amazing time at Katsucon, great time backstage, and we put on our best performance. Huge shout out to Hootie for letting us bring these designs to life, and they also supplied me with an extra reference sheet to help me bring it all into the 3D realm. So thank you so much, and thank you so much for making it through this video. If you want to check out more of what I do, you can check out my other social medias. You can also check out my group account, which is Turn Neon. That's my little baby. We do a lot of super fun projects over there, so definitely check them out if you like this. Thank you.